I'm Alexander Sergiani, 1001, June 20th. Let me put something in perspective about their terrorist financing, financing of slavery, sexual slavery, illegal weapons manufacturing and distribution, highly illegal, unethical, inhumane human experimentation. So I'm the victim of these people. And they know I'm owed shit tons of money. There's some supposedly money even in banks that's mine. But a piece of this is illegal gambling, betting manipulation, economic espionage, IP theft, data theft, and underground experiment rings. So what these people are doing is they know of these gamblers who are really rich. They know of this gambling ring. They know of these idea rings. They're stealing intellectual property. They're stealing data. They're selling that. They're also pretending to be victims of theft of these crimes. They're also pretending to be this betting mule and victims of bets and stealing money. They're also gambling with this stolen money. Then they're also stealing these ideas and selling them in idea rings, data rings, and also even stealing ideas, making prototypes and selling them. So they have these various sources of finance. Then they take all that money, compile it together, and then gamble with this money in multiple gambling rings where they control the results. Such because they run the gambling rings and they also run the investigation company and they run the betting manipulators. So they're basically manufacturing betting results and robbing people in big time bets. So what they're doing is they're getting money for crimes I'm a victim of, experiments I'm a victim of, idea theft I'm a victim of. They're stealing ideas and selling them. They're stealing data and selling it. They're stealing what they call material and monetizing it illegally and monetizing my data illegally. They're doing some AI programming, monetization of data as well, selling these brain maps. They're selling fake experiments and more. So they have all these different sources of income. Then they're pulling it all together and then gambling with it in multiple gambling rings where they control the results and winning like $1 billion or more bets. And they're doing this repeatedly. They're not just doing that. They're also stealing like an idea worth $1 billion or $1 million. They got some guy who appraises the idea, says it's worth X amount of dollars. They take that one idea, let's say he appraises it at $1 million. They say he's an official appraiser. They appraise it at $1 million, and then they sell that $1 million idea in multiple idea rings. They also gamble with that $1 million idea in multiple gambling rings as well. So they sell it in multiple idea rings and gamble with it in multiple idea rings, and then turn $1 million into 30 in idea rings and 30 in gambling rings, and then they keep gambling with that too. So that's a piece of what these terrorists are doing. And that's how they're financing highly illegal things. Terrorism, organized crime, highly illegal, unethical, inhumane human experimentation, human programming experiments, illegal weapons manufacturing and distribution, slavery and sexual slavery. Hiring murderers, terrorists, etc. So they got a lot of hustles like that. They're also extorting people. They're also stalking people in the gambling rings that they're running and then catching them for betting manipulation with betting manipulation tools they give them. Catching them for attempting murder and crimes when they're the people like sicking people on people and then catching them, then blackmailing them and extorting them. So that's a piece of this too, and they're taking that money too, putting it together and they're gambling with it. So they got a whole system of accruing finance and then compiling it and gambling with it all together in bets. This is going on in California, Dallas, Houston, Woodlands, New York, Dubai, and China. And maybe elsewhere, but they gamble with all this in all these different places at once. So they're doing something highly illegal. I've been reporting to the Bureau of Counterterrorism about this, but this is you need to analyze this when you're trying to assess how much finance they're making. At one point, for instance, there was some person who tried to get my dopamine rewards pathway destroyed to counteract the effects of Adderall. This was like late 2017 or 2018. This was 2018, I think. And they're all bent out of shape about my Adderall, saying it's not real or something. And they actually purposely tried to destroy my dopamine rewards pathway with these new age neurosurgeries. That's another source of finance, all their different illegal investments, synthetic telepathy, implantation, new age neurosurgeries, etc., etc. Think about how much money they're getting by selling implantation and telepathy to a lot of different people. I mean, that's a big time thing. And they're doing financial crimes, so they're not doing it legally, so they're probably doing it illegally, selling it to multiple people. Key point. That implantation formula could be worth $1 trillion, and they're selling it to multiple people, or even gambling with it, so that's key. But they supposedly got $100 million just from pretending to be a victim of this ablation of the dopamine rewards pathway. So they're doing stuff like that. So ponder how much money they're making and how much they're stealing, and then ponder how much money is falling in the hands of terrorists, rapists, murderers, organized crime syndicates, people involved in their global terrorist agenda. They're financing a global terrorist agenda. That's a key. This model is a key source of their finance, and that's what they're doing. And their global terrorist agenda and financing of it revolves around stealing from me, committing crimes on me, running bets around me, and more. And they're also doing financial crimes. That's another source of finance. They're financial crimes, pretending they're human programmers, selling devices for it, as well as pretending to program people. They're also running bets around human programming. Other sources of finance in their model is they're running other financial crimes. They're stealing science ideas from me, pretending to perform science. They'll do a fundraiser for science ideas, try to raise money for science. No, they tried to frame me for that. I never got involved with that. I tried to do a real fundraiser once for the device in my brain, and I just did a GoFundMe. No one donated. Fraud, altruistic people. Key point. But regardless of that, and some of these guys pretended to be altruistic, even pretended to be the victim of what I was a victim of, and stole my GoFundMe, and then even tried to steal money for crimes I was a victim of. That's how disgusting some of these people are. Repulsive. But regardless of that, they would steal science ideas, hold fundraisers, raise like $1 billion, take $100K, open up a lab, claim they did the research and it failed, then they'd steal that money, put in their compiled money of gambling, and then gamble with all that. So that's a piece of their model, and that's a piece of their that's a key way they're financing their global terrorist agenda, highly illegal human experimentation, unregulated weapons manufacturing facilities, unregulated weapons manufacturing and distribution, murder, etc., etc. So this is essential for law enforcement. Key video.